Hey guys, it's Chris. Today we're going to be talking about what makes Breakaway Wireless Adapter different from our other Wi-Fi products. Now, in case you're kind of new to our product lineup, you may know or you may not know, but we use Wi-Fi pairing for pretty much all of our devices. The only exception to that would be Tire Patrol, which uses radio, but everything else uses a Wi-Fi protocol to pair with one another. Not necessarily, when we're talking about Wi-Fi here, it should be important to clarify, we're not talking about internet. They're kind of synonymous nowadays. Internet is a different thing. We're not talking about access to the web. We're talking about a Wi-Fi network, which is just a protocol for communication wirelessly amongst different devices. That's what we use to pair. And Breakaway Wireless Adapter, in case you didn't know, is different from our other products in the way that it pairs. So in most cases, we have our hub, which is our command center. It looks like a little hockey puck, and that's putting out a mesh Wi-Fi network. And when you go to pair, whether that's with Quick Pair or with a QR code, the hub is basically initiating a process with that device that basically asks it for a portion or a key or something like that, depending on the different pairing methods. It's doing something to basically say, hey, I need information from you. And then that device, if it's the correct serial number, goes, oh, I have that information, here you go. That's a very, a generic way of putting it, but it's essentially what's happening anytime you go to pair. In most cases, this pairing procedure is only present between the hub and whatever device that is. So let's say you pair a brake to your hub. Well, your brake and your hub now share that pairing. They're paired together, but there's no third device necessarily that is involved in this process. And the reason for that is because communication is never going to disrupt performance from a device. So again, let's go back to our example of a brake. If you pair a brake to your command center and you lose communication between your command center and your brake, nothing essentially happens other than you can't see what your brake is doing. Your brake doesn't care. It's still doing its own thing. It's just operating in your towed vehicle as it would if your command center was still connected. So there's no real functionality to be interrupted. With Breakaway Wireless Adapter, things are different because obviously when you pair to a Breakaway Wireless Adapter, if our pairing was only contained to the hub, well, all of a sudden, if you lose communication with your hub, you have a big problem. Now you don't have communication or contact to your Breakaway Wireless Adapter. So to get around that, we designed Breakaway Wireless Adapter a little bit different. So instead of just pairing to the hub like most devices do, Breakaway Wireless Adapter actually pairs to both the hub and your actual braking system in the car. So essentially when you go to pair to a Breakaway Wireless Adapter, again, whether that's with a QR code or with Quick Pair, what's happening is your hub is doing that process we talked about, that handshake protocol is what it's called, with your hub to pair to it, but it's actually doing the exact same thing with your brake directly. So it's basically telling your RBI Brake 3, hey, I need your information, and then the brake is essentially providing that, and those two are now talking to each other as well. So essentially we almost have like a triangle of pairing going on. We have your brake, we have your hub, and we have your Breakaway Wireless Adapter. And your hub and Breakaway Wireless Adapter are talking to each other, and your Breakaway Wireless Adapter and your brake are also talking to each other. And that's what's happening when you pair to a Breakaway Wireless Adapter. So now, let's say you lose communication to your hub. Well, in that case, you're still covered. You still have a breakaway because your Breakaway Wireless Adapter and your brake are actually talking directly to one another instead of relying on the hub as a go-between. So that's why we designed it the way that we did. And the good news about the Wi-Fi protocol we use, it's really strong, it's really secure. And we're talking about in most vehicles between your Breakaway Wireless Adapter and your brake, usually a distance of like less than 4 feet. Sometimes maybe 4 or 5 feet, but that's about the max it's ever going to be. And the good news is that Wi-Fi across that distance is virtually unbreakable unless you were to literally surround one of those devices in some kind of Faraday cage or aluminum foil wrap or something. It's essentially like putting your phone right next to your Wi-Fi router. It won't disconnect unless you unplug the router. So that's essentially what's happening with your brake and your Breakaway Wireless Adapter. They're connected, they're very strong, and they don't rely on the hub necessarily to communicate. Now, as with everything, if you want to monitor those devices and see what they're doing, you will still need connectivity to your hub because that is what's actually communicating with your tablet and telling it what's going on. But again, as far as functionality goes, communication loss to the hub does not equate to any interruption in communication or functionality between your brake and Breakaway Wireless Adapter. So again, it's kind of a unique way that we do things. It's a way that we think works really, really well. And that's been proven out over the years of making and selling and these products and having them being used in the field. That's borne itself out. It's just a very effective way to pair these devices, and it's a great way to maintain functionality in the face of maybe some kind of communication loss or something like that. So if you didn't know, we just wanted to provide you with that information. It's always helpful to know about the products that you're using, and especially in a case like this where it's a safety product, you kind of want to be aware of how it functions and how it relates to other things around it. So if you've got questions on Breakaway Wireless Adapter, the RVI Break 3, or our other braking system, the RVI Break Shadow, don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to hear from you. We're available by phone, chat, or email. And in the meantime, guys, happy RVing. Hey guys, thanks for checking us out today. We've got tons of other great videos on products, stories, and tips and tricks. Before you go check any of those out though, we would really love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe here on this video. It sounds a little cliche, but it actually really does help us significantly here on the YouTube side of things to just continue to produce great content for you. So if you've got any questions on this video or any of the others that you do watch, don't hesitate to reach out. We love hearing from you. In the meantime, guys, happy RVing.